Hey friends, Ash here with Gents. Hope you're doing really well. Today I'm going to be taking a look at this one, Armani Code Eau de Parfum, the newest flanker in the Armani Code line. Got this one in a few days ago actually, and haven't cracked it open yet, been saving it. So I'm going to unbox this one, show you the presentation, and give it a smell for the first time, let you guys know what I think about it. So let's jump into it. Now when I ordered this fragrance, it was only available in Europe, but since then it has become available in the United States. You can pick it up for $77 for 1 ounce if you want just the itty bitty tiny bottle. If you want the 2 ounce bottle, which is gonna be this size right here, it's gonna run you 99 bucks, or you can get the 3.7 ounce and that'll run you 120 bucks. So those are your retail prices. Eventually this is gonna hit discounters and you'll be able to pick it up for a little bit less than that. This one follows up on the very, very successful Armani Code Absolute and Armani Code Profumo. And these two fragrances, you can kind of directly tie back to this one, Armani Code Ultimate. This one a much earlier release, but very similar in some aspects to these fragrances. And of course you had this one, Absolute Gold, which is kind of redundant, but it's still pretty good. Let's go ahead and open this one up. I'll show you the presentation of the box and the bottle, and we'll spray it on. Now, I've not watched any other videos on this. I've not read any reviews on this. I'm going in completely blind because I don't want to be swayed one way or the other as far as my thoughts go. Let's check out this box. So there we go, Armani Code Eau de Parfum. Not a whole heck of a lot going on the box. On the back, you've got your ingredient information, and there's the bottom with your batch code. Batch code here, 38T000C. And there is your bottle. Standard Armani Code bottle design, and the coloration, essentially a flipped version of Code Absolute. So yeah, just sit these side by side, kind of like bizarro versions of each other. I wonder if you can switch the caps. Don't know if I can because these are different bottle sizes. Well, you can, but it looks a little goofy. So there we go, Armani Code Absolute, decked out completely in gold or champagne color, only the cap is a little bit oversized. But I would imagine that if you had these in the same size, they might work. And then you could have an all black Armani Code Eau de Parfum. So I like the look of the bottle. It is just Armani Code though, you know what to expect. The bottle looks like you would expect. There's nothing really crazy about it. Like I've said a couple times now, just flipped colors of Code Absolute, which is really just kind of taking the colors of Ultimate and flipping those. So if you put Ultimate next to Eau de Parfum, pretty much the same. This one is small because I didn't get the full size bottle, and this one has that little cummerbund that they put on them now. Let's go ahead and spray this one on, see how it smells. There we go. So my immediate reaction, my immediate feeling, just initial impression, I don't like it as much as Absolute. I don't like it as much as Profumo. Don't know if I like it as much as Ultimate either. But again, I've had it on like a minute, so. Citrus and lavender forward, especially the lavender, which is actually lavandin, but that is what I pick up most of here in the opening here. Good amount of lavandin, really good amount. The tonka is apparent right away. And it has a little bit of that almost hay facet to it. So you have this sweet, warm tonka, a little bit of a hay vibe to it, and then lavandin coming out really prominently as soon as you spray it on. So it is slightly powdery fresh and sweet with a little bit of a dark edge. The citrus in the opening, lemon and bergamot, it's there, but it's more playing a supporting role. There's not a big blast of citrus or anything like that. It takes a back seat to the lavandin and the tonka immediately. So you never really have a moment where it's like, oh, look at this bright bergamot, this bright lemon, you know, the sharp citrus or juicy citrus or sweet or fresh or any of that. It's there, it's just not all that important. It's not really the star. I am not getting so much of the effervescence, that sparkle, that almost kind of root beer or cola vibe that people will talk about with Profumo and also a bit in Absolute. Not really getting that here. Is there a little bit of that sort of poppiness off your skin where it sparkles a little bit? Yeah, there's some of that, but less than in Absolute, less than in Profumo. Now it is really pleasant smelling, very nice. Actually, could possibly be more of a formal fragrance than either of these. It comes across a little bit more mature, and it definitely is growing on me. The more that I go back to this and smell it, the more I like it. I do think though that opening wise, that Absolute and Profumo both are more attention grabbing and more immediately pulling. Like they really grab you and you're like, oh wow, what is that? This one, when you first spray it on, it's not bad, but it doesn't have as much of that just initial punch. But I'll tell you what, as this is drying down, it's really nice. It's warming up quite well. And it's got this sweetness to it that's not overwhelming. Like I said, the Tonka initially has this like very slight sort of hay vibe to it. The lavender is settling down a little bit. Initially, it's got more of that slight powder edge to it, but that's dissipating as this dries. As it dries, the lavender and the Tonka, they're mixing together really well. Smells very appealing. I'm liking that. What I'm gonna do is go ahead and let this keep drying down. I'm gonna shoot off for a little while, but for you it'll be a couple seconds. I'll be right back with a little more information on this fragrance as it dries. As of right now, I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. It smells very nice. It's growing on me quite a bit. The initial opening didn't grab me as much, but I'm gonna give that another spray over here. See if the second time around my opinion changes a little bit. I'll be right back. My contacts were giving me some issues, so I switched to the glasses. I did go ahead and spray this one on again on this arm, like I said I was going to. And the opening, I think, for me at least so far, is the worst part of the fragrance. It's a little bit sharp. The citrus in the opening is not great. And the lavender takes a little bit to settle in. Once it does though, it smells a lot better. Or again, lavandin, not lavender, but lavandin. Once it settles in though, it's really, really nice. The mixture with the Tonka coming in gives it this warmth and sweetness, which is very appealing, but it's not overly sweet. Vanilla comes in as it dries down and you get some suede as well. The suede plays a supporting role here. Really the vanilla, the Tonka, and that lavandin is what is the star of the show. But I would say that as far as the importance of the supporting notes, that suede is the most important one. This one smells a little bit like you took the original Armani Code Eau de Toilette and modernized it. That's really basically what you've got going on here. So while you can definitely find some similarities with these two fragrances, Profumo and Absolute, with Eau de Parfum, the fragrance in the line that this one is actually closest to is going to be the original. And there are some similarities as well with this one and Ultimate. And that makes sense because again, look at the bottles. Now I'm not saying this is this fragrance or anything like that. I'm just saying that the fragrance this is closest to in the line is the original, followed up by this one, and then less of a similarity to these two, but you can still tell they're all in the same family. My initial impressions of Eau de Parfum is that this one is a little bit more of a slightly mature take on the Armani Code line. It does have that sweetness, but not as in your face as in Profumo or Absolute. And it's a little bit better for formal situations than Profumo or Absolute would be. It smells really, really nice, very appealing, big potential compliment pulling kind of fragrance. Had my wife smell it, she loves it as well. Another good thing about this, the performance seems to be really good. Now I haven't worn this completely multiple times, so I can't tell you for sure, but this is still going strong hours later. I mean, really considerably so. So this is coming across like the type of fragrance that's gonna last over 8 hours on my skin, potentially longer than that. So you're looking at a fragrance performance-wise that probably is gonna be in the range of Profumo. It's really strong. Of course, lots of guys out there really all about those beast mode fragrances. You know, really strong ones that last forever and project heavily. And this one so far is absolutely doing that in spades. Now, whereas with YSL Y Le Parfum, I felt like after that first impression that could really end up being my favorite in the line, I don't foresee that this one I'm going to like more than Absolute. I think this is still going to remain my favorite, but this one probably going to be right there with Profumo. Again, I can't say that for sure, just initial impressions. I think I'm going to grow to like this one just as much as Profumo, but I think Absolute is still gonna be my favorite. I'm not at all disappointed with the way this one smells though. Absolutely do not regret the purchase. It smells very, very good, and this is going to be a killer in fall and winter in the evening, and potentially during the day as well. Not really very much of what I would consider a spring or a summer fragrance. You could pull it off in the cooler months of spring. Again, gonna be better for the evening, but once it heats up, like most of the fragrances in the Code line, gonna wanna reach for something else. There we go though, initial impressions on Armani Code Eau de Parfum. This is very solid. Wish the opening was a little bit better, but after 5 minutes, it smells really good the rest of the way. And actually, the longer it's on your skin, the better it gets. So that is a big positive. Some fragrances have awesome openings and then terrible dry downs. This one has an okay opening and then a great dry down. And I'll take that every day over the fragrance with the great opening and the trash dry down. All right guys, there we go. I'm gonna do a review on that in the future after I can wear this fragrance more often and around people and in different situations and all that good stuff. So that'll be coming in the future sometime. If you've smelled this fragrance, let me know what you think about it in the comments below. As I said, it is readily available in the US now, between $77 and $120 depending on the size. And guys, do me a favor, if you're not subscribed to this channel, hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future reviews or lists or just random fragrance videos. All right guys, stay safe out there. I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.